What's going on, everyone? This is Nimish. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about Mohanlal's cult movie Aham, which was released in 1992 and also stars Urvashi, Nedumudi Venu, Neena Gupta, Ramya Krishnan, and many more people. This is an absolutely amazing film on mental health, and the role of Siddharthan, played by Mohanlal, is absolutely incredible. Once you press play, you will not stop watching it because this movie has amazing performances, amazing characterization, superb editing, crazy cinematography, haunting background music, everything packaged into one to give you a deep, meaningful film on mental health. And the way this has been portrayed back in 1992 by Mohanlal is absolutely incredible. So, Aham is a story of Siddharthan, played by Mohanlal, who grew up with a difficult childhood. He was not getting enough attention from his parents and so on. Therefore, he developed a sort of mental health issues and grew up to be someone with a lot of OCD, someone requiring perfection, someone requiring everything the way he wants, very rigid, very restricted in the approach, and cannot imagine something in another way. For example, there is a scene where he needs his eggs boiled particularly specifically to a certain number of minutes, cannot be 1 second over, 1 second under, and so on. That's an example of how specific he needs his things to be, otherwise he loses his shit. So this character, how he deals with his mental health, what are the other factors that cause his mental health issues to escalate, and what happens after that, which also forms a sort of psychological thriller, is the basic concept of this movie. This movie starts with the today's world, wherein Siddharthan is at an ashram and he's wearing the sort of ashram clothes, the sort of orange yogic Sadguru type clothes, and he's narrating what all happened in his life to Ramya Krishnan. And immediately when we go into the flashback and we start seeing the contrast, this is beautifully done from a costume perspective as well. So, in the current phase where he is in the ashram, in the mental health facility, and he is trying to deal with the remainder of his life, and he has found some kind of solace, some kind of peace there, you can see that his clothes are, as you know, the ashram clothes, the orange color clothes that sadhus wear. That's a one piece sort of wraparound. There's no sort of ironing to it, there's no perfection to it. Whereas in the past, Mohanlal wore a white shirt, a tie, very well ironed, crisp, very well clean, not a dot on the white shirt. He needed that to be perfect. He needed his outfits throughout his life to be perfect because he had OCD. He had that rigidity in his mental health and approach to life. But now you can immediately see the contrast of where he is going on a sort of journey of acceptance, or almost like giving up or trying to better himself on those older issues. So that, from a costume perspective, also stands out in this movie, and you'll see and understand that when you watch the film as well. So a lot of such symbolic elements that sort of add to the subtext of the film and add a layer that's more than just what the characters are saying and what we're seeing on screen. There's a lot of minute details that they have been captured, such as the costumes in this film. The editing of this film is brilliant because, as I said, the movie starts with him narrating what all happened in his life, and those flashbacks come and go at a time where you can see an amazing progression of how he dealt with his life, how he met Urvashi, how he fell in love, got married, and how things escalated. How he started doubting that his wife is having an affair, and so on, and sort of going, crazier about this issue and getting obsessed with that now. And the way it's portrayed, the escalation starting from something small like eggs need to be perfect to you're definitely having an affair. I've seen it with my own eyes, which is not true. He's imagining things, but that escalation is incredible to watch. The way he's losing his mind as young Siddharthan, and the way things and events progress in the movie to the point where there is a murder in the movie, there's a murder mystery sort of thing. It's what happened, how it happened, sort of a vibe to the movie as well. And how he finally breaks, he goes beyond and breaks, is absolutely well edited. And to support that, of course, there is amazing cinematography where you'll have scenes where he's lying and fantasizing things with light shining on his face. Things of that nature look absolutely beautiful yet haunting back in 1992. And the cinematographer was Santosh Sivan, who is very famous, and he has done an incredible job as well. To add to the solid story, cinematography, and editing, there's incredible background music by Johnson. the way it sort of plays on your mind even after the movie is over is extremely haunting and sort of stays with you, and you sort of have to digest the film and absorb whatever you saw on the screen. Of course, none of these technical elements would have had any soul if there was not a mind blowing performance by Mohanlal. The way he has completely transformed into Siddharthan and acts in that sort of, OCD, need things perfect, rigid, perfect shirt. Like, you see, when someone has all these issues, their whole body language in anything they do will be reflected on their, when you see them. And Monlal never forgets that. It's almost like everything, if he picks up a spoon, if he sits down, if he walks, the way he sits down, the way he talks, the way his focus is sort of wavering sometimes, whereas overly obsessed sometimes, all this has been just so naturally delivered by Mohanlal. I don't think you can direct such things because you can only direct so much, but he brings that value in this film with his unbelievable performance. And to see the contrast of his peak OCD behavior, peak mental health issue behavior, to now acceptance, peace, solitude, finding an answer in the ashram, that contrast as well we get to see because we go back and forth. So you have a full arc of a performance by Mohanlal that is simply cannot be described in words. So unbelievable performance. Of course, everyone else, are also legends. We have Nedu Mudivenu, we have Urvashi, who's incredible in this movie as well. One of the most memorable performances of her that I have watched. And also, she recently won a Best Supporting Actor for Uloruku. Not sure why it's supporting, but that is a separate conversation. But I'm glad she at least got the award because she deserved it. We know that she's the lady superstar of the Malayalam film industry. So without her, the contrast to Mohanlal's character would not be complete. The reactions and actions of Mohanlal's character would not be complete without her stellar performance as well, and a very well etched out role. Nina Gupta, Ramya Krishnan, Nedumudi Venu, Suresh Gopi, all of these people have done commendable performances in the supporting role as well. And overall, this is a very detailed, written, nuanced movie with a lot of depth, a crazy character graph, unreal performance by Mohanlal, and a very haunting thriller vibe with an ending that sort of leaves you wondering, what did you just watch? What to take away from the film? What did you feel in this film? And it's an extremely beautiful sort of portrait of a man and his journey with his mental health issues. And it has some very thrilling, very gripping moments as well, and it's thoroughly entertaining. It's not like not too dark or depressing in any way. In the same time, the movie keeps the entertainment quotient going as well. So absolute stunner of a film. I don't see this talked about often. I know the cult followers of Malayalam cinema and who've grown up with it obviously know about this film and might have watched it many times, but this is one of the Mohanlal films that I've not heard a lot about, but I watched it and it was stunning. Simply stunning. I think the director of this film is Rajeevan, if I'm not mistaken. Superb direction to bring this kind of a story on the screen in 1992, way ahead of its time. Sort of peak mental health issue as the topic, which has only now become popular in the mainstream and in the world. So to capture that in 1992 and study that and deliver that kind of a movie with those kind of performances, kudos to the makers of the film. So one more incredible performance by Mohanlal. The more you watch, the more you learn about this man, and there's lots more to go, lots more to watch. If you are new to my channel, do check out my other reviews of Mohanlal movies. There's an entire playlist dedicated to his movies, reactions to his trailers and all of that. So do check it out. But yes, Aham was absolutely fantastic. Let me know your thoughts about Aham in the comments below if you have watched it. If not, don't wait. Just press the play button and you won't regret it. It is an absolute gem of a film. I hope you like my review. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and keep watching for much more.